Hey there. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you're dialing in from, listening in from, watching from. Hey, how y'all doing? It's good to see you. Good for you to be here with me today on this April 3rd, in the beginning of April. April showers, May flowers. April's supposed to bring them flowers. How is the weather where you are? Please say hello. Let me know how things are going with you wherever you're watching in from, or saying hello to us. Hello, hello. Oh, folk are coming in. How are you? It's so good to see you. Thank you for joining and being with me this morning, this afternoon, this evening. Hey, what's going on where you are? Say hello. Say hello in the comments. Let me know how things are going. So good to see you. I'm Dr. Geneva. Here in Detroit, it's kind of windy. They said snowy, rainy weather. Now, here it is in April. It ain't supposed to be snowing, is it? But that's life. That's life. Good morning to you. Great to see you. All my Facebook friends, I'm so delighted that you're here. Oh, my girl. Go ahead. How you doing, Bernadette? Good to see you. How are things going with your new career, your new job? Good to see you. Yes. Purpose today. Well, let me get started. And for those of you who are just joining us, I say welcome. Have you ever wondered how ordinary moments with extraordinary people can shape the leaders we become? Today, we'll explore the intentional and unintentional lessons my mom taught me and how they've shaped my leadership journey. By sharing these insights, I hope to inspire you to reflect on the powerful lessons you've learned from the role models in your life through their words and actions. You'll walk away inspired, connected, and equipped with a fresh perspective on leadership. You'll discover how everyday moments and extraordinary people can profoundly impact your life and shape you into the leader you are or aspire to be. Now, my mom's profound impact on my leadership journey came through her explicit lessons and the power of her example. As a teacher by profession, she was always intentional about imparting knowledge and wisdom. However, some of the most invaluable lessons she taught me were the ones she never set out to teach directly, ones she never meant to teach. Through her grace, resilience, and purpose driven life, she, in many ways, inadvertently showed me what true leadership looks like in action. These lessons were woven into the fabric of her everyday life, from how she navigated challenges to how she treated others with kindness and respect. While she may not have explicitly labeled these moments as leadership lessons, they left a mark, an indelible mark on my understanding of what it means to be a great leader. My mom, a beautiful and poised woman, was a force to be reckoned with. She effortlessly juggled various roles from teacher to social justice advocate alongside my dad, leaving a mark on our small town on the Jersey Shore called Neptune. To this day, whenever I go back home, people still talk about Miss Jones and the countless lives she touched, how she impacted them through her tireless work and really unwavering dedication to the education and betterment of children and to her community. Now, her life was a master class in leadership, teaching me valuable lessons in adapting to change, maintaining composure under pressure, forging strong connections, and using one's voice to create impact. So I'll share a couple of personal stories and insights gleaned from the dynamic classroom of life, spotlighting those incredible, often unsung moments of leadership that textbooks often overlook. For those of you who are joining and I haven't yet had the pleasure of meeting, I'm Dr. Geneva, top leadership voice on LinkedIn, award winning, decades long experience in leading nonprofits and businesses, and dedicated to the mission of empowering people, especially women, to lead with impact and success. And so today I'm going to invite you to reflect on your own experiences and the wisdom passed down to you by the extraordinary women in your life. Today's show is my wrap up to the Elevating Women's Wisdom series, celebrating Women's History Month. And so if you've missed any of these shows, you can watch the replays here on LinkedIn, also on Facebook and YouTube. Yes, and I'm so delighted. Oh, Carol, how are you? Just wonderful to see you as well. So, I want you to feel free to share your stories and insights in the comments as we celebrate the legacy of women like my mom and the women in your life. And these are women whose examples of leadership through compassion, resilience, and authenticity continue to guide us. I want us to uh, recognize and think about and explore that transformative power of leadership lessons that often are hidden in plain sight. Well, let's get into it. And I want to start with the first lesson. I want to talk about the art of reinvention. Now, my mom's extraordinary career journey taught me the transformative power of reinvention and continuous growth. She was the first Black elementary school teacher in the district at home. And so she broke barriers and paved the way for future generations. But she didn't stop with just being a teacher in the classroom. She taught first grade for many, many years. Her skills and passion for education led her to become the head of the teachers union, where she fearlessly, I can see her now just talking and advocating for her colleagues, for other teachers, and for the betterment of the educational system. And then, after several years, in a bold move, she then transitioned to the other side of the table, being elected to the school board, where she had an impact on policy. And that shift, she used to say, allowed her to make an even greater impact on the lives of students and educators alike. Now, her journey of reinvention and career shifts didn't end there. She went on to create and found the first program for gifted children in the state, pioneering a new path in education and ensuring that every child could reach their full potential. Now, I want you to know that this was done all in the 50s and 60s, where the norm really was to stay in a job, stay in that same job, and retire out of that job with a beautiful gold watch. I don't know why I'm pointing to my arm. I ain't got on no gold watch, but you know what I mean. My mom taught me that leadership is about continuously evolving, growing, and seeking new challenges. And I saw that not because she said it to me all the time in words, but she did it. It was through her example in her action. And the other thing was that she showed me that reinvention isn't just about changing jobs. And we're not talking about just changing jobs here. It's really about having the courage to step into new roles, whatever they might be, and to break that ground in those uncharted territories when you step in and you do new things, and to use your unique talents, which each of us has, to make a difference in the world, in your life, in your family, with your children. Reinvention, she taught me, she showed me, is a skill that can be learned, skills honed and mastered, just like any other art form, which means we can all do it. Her life was a testament to the idea that reinvention isn't just possible, it is a path to discovering and fulfilling your true potential. And so at the end of the day, her example taught me that being a leader really is about being open to change and embracing that change. And also never letting or allowing yourself to be defined by someone else, something else, a single role or identity. So I want you to think about your own career journey. Have there been moments when you've embraced change, reinvented yourself, stepped into new roles? What did you learn about yourself and your potential through these experiences? I'd love to have you share in the comments any of your experiences. And good morning, Dr. Pierre, my friend from Dallas, Texas. Good to see you. Thank you for sharing that. I'm so glad you're connected because, sometimes the LinkedIn connections haven't been working for us and my friend from Texas. So I'm glad you're here. Yes, and reinvention, being open to change. That's what we're talking about. Yes. And that's what I learned from my mom, that reinvention really was an art. And so, just some tips and advice. I want you to embrace a mindset of continuous growth and be open to reinvention no matter your age. Okay? Reinvention knows no age limits because you can do it as a youngster in your midlife. Hey, my midlifers out there, when you're in your 70s, your 80s, anytime you can do it. And one of the ways to do it is to regularly assess your skills, your passions, the things that turn you on, that you want to do, and the impact you want to make. I got to check my mic here for a moment. Okay. Can you all hear me? If you cannot hear me, please let me know. Um, so I was talking about what to do in reinvention. Assess your skills. Figure out your passions. Know what it is that turns you on, the impact you want to make. And don't be afraid to take on new challenges, to step into different roles or to chart a course. Remember, your leadership journey is a continuous learning, growing, and evolving process. Okay. So, the second lesson that I want to share that my mom really never meant explicitly to teach me, but I saw it, I watched it, I learned from it in action. Now, my mom was the epitome of grace under pressure. I really, in public, I don't think I ever saw her lose her cool. Now, okay, at home, now, when she be talking to me, most of the time she was pretty cool, but she could get on my case in a minute. Uh, you know, but and when there was an issue or something she felt strongly about, she'd be on it. But she always had this grace, this beauty as she navigated various roles with poise and composure. And I used to wonder about, okay, so what was the secret, particularly when she was out in the public and in all of these various um, roles, because she was, wife and mom and teacher and educator and school board member and um, social justice advocate. She fought for civil rights. She was a member of a sorority, service clubs up the kazoo, you know. And so I often wondered, and it was later on that I discovered her secret to remaining poised under pressure, sometimes what we call now personal presence or executive presence. And that was the secret, was her really unwavering commitment to purpose, preparation, and practice. So, in every interaction, whether in the classroom, whether she was on the school board, leading numerous service organization, my mom always stayed focused on her North Star, the purpose, the desired outcome of the situation. And this clarity of intention really allowed her to maintain a calm and confident presence, even in the face of adversity, because she had her eye on the prize. And that poise wasn't just a result, too, of her natural charm, it also was a product of preparation, and she would prepare. She understood that to lead effectively and maintain composure, she needed to be well prepared. She had to know her stuff. Now, she was an excellent planner. She was always thinking several steps ahead and anticipating potential challenges. Moreover, she believed in the power of practice. Whether it was a speech or perhaps a difficult conversation or any other important interaction, my mom would practice all the time, sometimes relentlessly. And she instilled in me that habit too, always encouraging me to hone my skills, to practice, to try, to fail, then practice some more, go back into it, keep doing it. And through this repetition, I believe she honed her skills and refined her message and developed this really this confidence, unshakable confidence in her ability to communicate effectively. But I need to tell you, it wasn't a practice to be perfect. It really was practice makes progress. She wasn't really striving for perfection. Rather, she wanted things to be a little bit better each time. And so my mom taught me that personal and executive presence combines this purpose, preparation, and practice through her example. Having this clear vision, this purpose, this knowing why you here, what it is you doing, what the outcomes, what do you expect to happen, what do you want to happen, what do you want to create to happen, and having that in your mind and being very purposeful and living purposeful, doing the necessary groundwork to get to you being able to implement your purpose, and then putting in the time to refine your skills, to practice so that you become a little bit better every day, every time. And so by mastering these elements, I learned that you can cultivate a powerful presence that inspires trust and confidence and respect in those around you. So I want you to think about a time when you felt most confident and poised in a leadership role. This executive presence that sometimes can, be elusive, or we want to know how to define it. Perhaps you can think about this purpose, preparation, and practice as elements that you can undertake to achieve that level of presence. I'd love to know what your thinking is, what your comments are. Please share them. Oh, wow. Dr. Pierre, I just love how you share so much good stuff with us. And um, thank you always for being there. And yes, it sounds good, Leah. Yes, grace under pressure. I'm telling you. Um, and yes. Oh, someone else out there never saw her mom lose her cool and raise 9 children. Now, see, that's what I see. This is what I mean. This is why I wanted to have this conversation, because there's so much that we learn from people who are right there with us, and particularly the women who've inspired us, and especially our moms. I want you to reflect on these stories and share them and let us know about them. Um, and yes, fabulous mom. Yes, yes. Philosophy, practice equals progress. Yes. And I learned that again. It wasn't really about perfection. She really didn't, get into that, but it really was being a little bit better. So listen, before any important interaction or presentation, take the time to think about your purpose. Prepare well, prepare thoroughly, practice your delivery. Why not? Develop a pre-performance routine that also may include some mental rehearsal, some deep breathing, and some positive self-talk to help you maintain composure under pressure. Remember, your presence, your executive presence, is a direct reflection of your, I believe, your having problems with my mic. So, um, your executive presence. Okay, I lost my train of thought, but I'm gonna get it back now. Uh, because I was summarizing this. Yes, that it's really about your inner clarity, about your purpose, that confidence that you get by knowing your purpose, and your commitment to excellence. Hey, hey, hey. What do y'all think about that? Yes. Now, listen, before this next lesson, I want to share with you. If you're finding value and you'd like to have a conversation about how to elevate your executive presence, or you want to talk about any leadership issue facing you, go to LinkedIn. Right under my profile, you'll see book an appointment. Come on, I love to talk with you. Yes. Oh, Carol, thank you. Yes, a gentle force. See, this is what I'm talking about in terms of reflecting on the lessons we've learned. Yes, to practice trusted friend. That's right. That's a good one, Carol, because you can practice your remarks and ask somebody else, what do they think? And Carol Goss is, she's a leader among leaders. And so I'm so delighted that she's with us and is sharing her gems. And go to my YouTube channel. Did you know I had a YouTube channel? Oh, yes, you're not subscribed. You need to go over to my YouTube channel. I have a fabulous conversation with Carol Goss about leadership and in my Master Leaders series. You didn't know I had that, huh? Okay. So let's look at lesson number 3 that I'd like to share with you. Growing up, I witnessed my mom's extraordinary ability to build connections with everyone she encountered. There was this time I remember. Now, let me tell you. So, my mom was a teacher, and she taught in elementary and middle school. And when I went to elementary and middle school, and during those times, I don't know how many of you remember, but we went home for lunch. Okay. We didn't have the cafeterias in the school. We went home for lunch. And so my mom, with her teacher friends, oh, I remember Miss Clark, Susie Dean, Miss Hill. Oh my gosh. The 4 of them would get together and go out to lunch. And of course, since I had to go with them. I loved it because we would go to my favorite restaurant, Howard Johnson's. Do they still even have Howard Johnson? Howard Johnson's. I lived on the Jersey Shore. Okay. And my favorite lunch was a fried clam roll. Them fried clams, falling over that hamburger, hot dog roll. Oh, it was just delicious with the tartar sauce. And I would look forward to every lunch. I'd sit there and munch and listen to the conversation because you can imagine they was going at it. So there was plenty of gossip, plenty of laughter and all of that. But amidst all of that, I'd watch my mom and I noticed how her fellow teachers, like everyone she ran into, always sought her opinions and advice and support. And I recognize that her secret to building these connections, whether with parents and school board members, her sorority sisters, she always approached and interacted with people with this generous spirit and a genuine desire to help. And her constant refrain, the thing she always said, I used to hear it often, kind of how I picked it up. She'd say, "How can I help?" People would talk to her and bring her stuff. She'd meet new people. She'd find a way to say, "How can I help?" And it was this authentic interest in others' well being and success was the foundation of her extensive network. She knew everybody, everybody knew her. It was this giving mindset, that this mindset of generosity that she approached connections and building relationships. And she taught me, her actions taught me that networking isn't about collecting business cards or attending countless events. It's not a transactional uh, activity, or it shouldn't be. It's really about cultivating deep relationships, listening, having genuine interest based upon mutual trust and respect and a willingness to help. My mom taught me that the most powerful connections are built when you approach others with a giving mindset, focusing on what you can contribute to their lives and goals. And this lesson has been invaluable in my own work and practice, and I have used it over and over again. And that's how I network, with this mindset of generosity, and that's how I've built a robust, extensive network of individuals who I can get feedback from and support my endeavors and enrich my life with their diverse perspectives and experiences. It's approaching it, it's having that mindset of generosity. How can I help? Four powerful words in networking. So I'd like you to think about your own networking experiences, and can, if they're ever about um, what can I gain, which is, it's really, it's common for many people to think about networking or getting a mentor, or expanding their relationships, thinking about, well, what can I gain, what can I get, how can I be supported. I just want you to think about shifting your focus to, how can you contribute to someone else, how can you help. What are some of the steps that you can use, do you think, to build these authentic, supportive connections? And do you have any comments, or, um, yes, a giving mindset, um, comments about this? And here's some advice: before attending any networking event or meeting, or going into a new situation where you want to establish relationship, set an intention. Okay, so I'm telling you, be intentional to learn about someone else who's there, the other people who are going to be there, and think about ways that you can support their goals. So if you're, you know, an expert in healthcare, and you're running a healthcare organization, you might have in your back pocket, or something that you can talk about or email to someone, the 10 best ways to take care of yourself and your family. And when you're in conversation with someone and they're talking about their life or their family, which you find people often do, you could say, I've developed this list of the 10 things that I think are most important for us to know about, to take care of our families, to protect our children. Let me send it to you. Do you see what I mean? So, in other words, thinking about the ways that you can help to support others. And then, of course, when you make those connections, follow up with personalized messages, share other resources, and make introductions to other people that really can help build relationships. Remember, the most powerful networks are built on a foundation of authenticity, generosity, and mutual support. And so I see we've got some fabulous comments about cultivating, yes, connections. Yes, focusing on the relationship, as Dr. Pierre says. How can I help? That's right. It's the great networking phrase, and something to use. Thank you, Bernadette, for your comment about impact today, and then what it's going to be for tomorrow. Yes, always thinking ahead, and always thinking about how you can help folk, and how you can cultivate those authentic connections as you think about your networking that you want to do to become a great leader, not just a good leader, but a great leader. And lesson 4, this is one of my favorites, I must admit. Now, I don't know how many of you are familiar with the television series Madam Secretary. It's one of my favorite. Well, this one episode where the president is talking to a newly elected leader of another country, who's really hesitant about speaking up, and really hesitant about doing something that he really should be doing, that really is right for him to do. And the president says to him, the president of the United States says, played by Carradine, Keith Carradine. It's one of the Carradine brothers. He says, finding your voice as a leader is never easy, but it's pretty much the whole gig. Mhm. That resonated with me when I heard that so deeply. I screamed and said, yes, that saying that really captured the lesson that really both of my parents instilled in me from a young age, the power and importance of using your voice. But my mom, who was an articulate communicator, she was a poet and a storyteller, really exemplified this lesson throughout her life, because whether she was teaching first graders, advocating for social justice, schooling me, teaching me, or leading the landmark civil rights case that changed housing discrimination laws in New Jersey, she used her voice as a tool for teaching, empowerment, and change. And her ability to articulate, stand firm, and speak for what's right influenced the causes she championed and really created the essence of who I am today. And we all have challenges with this, and I found myself challenged even with this lesson that I knew about speaking up and always using my voice to articulate what I believed in, to lead, to see the light, to talk about issues. I lost my voice when my husband and my mom and my dad all passed during the same time. And struggling to come back, I one of the things that helped me come back was rediscovering my voice. And that's when I started my podcast, to be able to talk with leaders across the country about success and failure and the ways that we can lead with more impact. And that's what really that comeback is really what caused me to name my company Dr. Geneva Speaks, because that journey taught me the lesson again about finding and amplifying your voice is not just a piece of leadership, it's the cornerstone. Your voice in this context goes beyond mere oral communication. I'm just not saying what you speak, but really how you express yourself and your values through various forms of communication and expression, writing, actions, your digital presence, and how you lead and interact with others. It encompasses the entire spectrum of ways to express your ideas and lead and make a difference. These things and this lesson of voice your impact underscores that your voice is your brand. How you communicate your values, your vision, your stories. That's your brand. And that's why your voice is your impact. It's the narrative you weave about yourself and then tell others about. And it's unique because you are the only one with your story. It's the impact you aim to create and the legacy you wish to leave behind. Finding and using your voice isn't just part of the leadership gig, it is the gig. It's about courageously speaking your truth. So think about a time. I want you to think about, because I know y'all out there, you have a time when you used your voice to stand up for something you believe in or to create a positive change. I know Carol Goss is with us, and she used her voice to create warrior women against poverty. You all have done the same. Let me know about it in the comments. Please share it it. And don't just share it with me because you know when you put the comments in the DM, anybody who comes on the replay, hi replay, and on live or what have you, see it. And we can see how what impact you created. And I want to know also in your comments, how did it make you feel? What kind of impact did it have on yourself and others? So, to make sure that you voice your impact, identify the core values and causes that drive you, that are important for you. Look for opportunities, be intentional to speak up. One of the things I do is if I'm at a meeting, if I'm invited to something, I don't leave that something or that meeting without saying something. Look for those opportunities to speak up and advocate for the issues that are of concern to you, that matter to you through public speaking, writing, social media, podcasts, your daily interactions. Remember, your voice can inspire, educate, and create change. Embrace it as an essential tool in your leadership kit. Because I believe by finding and amplifying your voice, you define your leadership brand and empower others to find their voices. Like my mom, let your voice be a beacon that guides, teaches, and changes the world around you. So those are the yes story. Yes, Bernadette. Your story is her story, my story, our story. Yes, to share and encourage, inspire, uplift. That's what I'm talking about, Bernadette, when I'm saying use your voice, speak them words. And warrior women, greatest achievement. You know, the warrior women help one woman at a time to be successful in their lives. And Carol was the inspiration behind, and there are many women that she's brought in to be a part of this movement, this celebration. Um, and that's what voice can do. That's my point. This is what voice can do, and that's why it's so important for you, for us to voice your impact. Well, here we are at the conclusion, and throughout this journey, we've explored my mom's profound impact on my leadership philosophy through her intentional teachings and the powerful example she set daily, even when she wasn't thinking about it or doing it intentionally. And that's the value of us being role models as well, because our daughters, the young girls, the younger generation, they're watching us. So, from embracing the art of reinvention to cultivating authentic connections, from maintaining poise under pressure and having that executive presence to voicing her impact, my mom's life was a testament to the transformative power of leadership in action, not just talk, but in action. My mom's lessons remind me that leadership is not confined to grand gestures or official titles. It's woven into the fabric of our everyday, daily lives, in the small moments and the quiet actions that often go unnoticed but leave an indelible mark on those around us. So, as we conclude this exploration of the leadership lessons my mom taught me, both purposely and inadvertently, I encourage you again to reflect on the extraordinary women in your life. Think about the wisdom they imparted through their words and actions, and how these lessons have shaped your own leadership journey. And then embrace, once thinking about it, reflecting on it, I want you to embrace the power of these intentional and unintentional teachings and let them guide you as you navigate your path to authentic, impactful leadership. Because remember, your actions and words, even when you're unaware, have the power to inspire, influence, and transform the lives of those around you who are looking, who are watching. Remember, every moment is an opportunity to learn, grow, and make a difference. Let your leadership light shine bright. And thank you so much for joining. And if any of this conversation has resonated with you and you want to talk about things like executive presence, elevating your networking, finding your voice, communication, speaking fearlessly in public, or any of those things that challenge us, um, that, you know, really face us. Hey, go to LinkedIn, book an appointment with me. Love to have a conversation. Um, and on Facebook, oh, yes. Oh, my goodness. Yes, we have a Facebook user who says she's going to take advantage of the opportunity to speak up. Right. Why not? You've gotten that voice. God gave you that voice. That Holy Spirit within you wants to speak, gave you a voice. And so find ways to speak up. Thank you so much, Carol. I appreciate your comments. And somebody from Facebook is saying that you have made major impact. Oh, on professional development leadership journey. Thank you. Well, thank you for sharing that. My pleasure to be here. Remember, be the leader only you can be, because you have all those unique talents and everything. So be that leader. Thank you. Thank you, Letitia. Appreciate you for coming and sharing the information, sharing your feedback to the information. Oh, wow, Carol, there's one of your many fans who really appreciates the work that you did at Skillman and in the Osborne community, but I can talk about a lot of other places like Family and Neighborhood Services and Kellogg and other foundations, and of course, Warrior Women Against Poverty, where you have just been an inspiration. And all of you uh, can be inspiring and are inspiring. And I want you, as we wrap up Women's History Month, to celebrate, elevate women's wisdom. Join me every Wednesday, 9 o'clock. In April, oh, we've got some great topics. You know, April is National Volunteer Month. So I think I'm going to talk about volunteering, philanthropy. I'm going to focus conversation on those of you who are leaders of nonprofits and all the incredible work that you do. If at any time there's subjects or topics you want me to address, please let me know. Drop it in the comments or go into the DMs on LinkedIn or Facebook. Um, yes, let's share our remembrances so that others know that that's right. It's not always easy. You know, we be looking good and talking good and doing all that, but it ain't easy, is it? But that doesn't mean that it's not worth it, because it is. It really is worth it. Yes, we all are Bernadette. And on that note of change makers that we all are, thank you for joining. And I'll see you next time, next Wednesday, 9 o'clock. Bye. I hope you have a fantastic